So today we will create Node.js API with the SQL Server. So we will perform CRUD operation. So let's start. So I have write down some steps in my Notepad file. We'll follow all the steps, and I've also write the code to save some time. And I will explain the each file use. So let's move to our step one. Create one folder with your application name. Okay. Go to file path and type cmd and hit enter, then command prompt will be open with your application part. Okay, so I've already created the folder with my application like node api create with sql. So I will go to cmd. Okay, now I will open code space dot, so it will open the Visual Studio Code. Okay, so next step, now run this command npm init hyphen y. So basically this will create the package.json file. And now open terminal. So okay, so I've write down this step from the command prompt, so you can perform this command from the command prompt, and also you can perform this command from the Visual Studio Code terminal. So let's open the terminal and npm init -y. So you will see that it has created package.json file. Okay, so next is npm install. So I will install run this command later. So next is npm install express ms sql course body parser. So it will install express package, ms sql package, course for to stop the course error, and body parser. So body parser will be helpful in JSON. Let's copy this command. So you can see that it has created the node module folder. So added 173 packages. Now install npm install fs extra. So fs extra basically used for file streaming, like to read the files. So we will use this package for reading the sql file. So I will create some sql file in our project to write the sql statements. Next is npm install nodebone. So nodebone basically used for like to initialize your start file and the things. So you can like read about the nodebone in detail on the Google also. Now I will run the npm install. Okay, so it is saying up to date. So that's why I've created this command. So I've already installed the all packages, and then I try to run npm install. So next step is, and now go to script section in the package.json file and add the line start nodemon index.js. So basically this will like helpful to run the index.js page. So go to this section script. So this is our initializing point, means your application will be start from the index.js. So it means we have to create one index.js file. So I'm creating index.js. Okay. Now run this query npm install .NET environment. So this dot environment, sorry, not .NET, my bad. So npm install dot environment. So it will create the dot environment. Basically I will create the dot env files for keep the all uh, environment settings, like what is the database name, host name, on which server local host will run. So I will create all folders, controllers, route, data. So let's create the folders structure, controllers, route, sorry, and the third one is data. And now create one file with the name .env. So basically environment variable. So in environment variable in Node are used to store sensitive data such as password, API credential, and other information that should not be written directly in code. Okay, so dot environment file, when you like publish your code or when you build your code, so that file will never be readable. So that's why we keep all sensitive information in environment file. So let's create one file .env. So as you can see that this is a setting symbol. So the symbol is telling the all uses of this file. Yeah. So next step, now create another file with the name config.json. Okay, config.js. Okay. Now write the block code in .env file. So I will copy all the code and paste into this. So you can see that I have used the port 8081 host localhost and host URL is localhost 8081. So this is my SQL Server credentials, username, password, my database name, and this API IP address. So you can find this IP address in your computer management. So let me show you where you can find this. Go to computer management, into service and application, SQL Server. Go to SQL Server network configuration, protocol for MS SQL Server. So remember this point that you should, or it should be enabled. TCP IP should be enabled. If this is disabled, please enable this. So go to IP address. So I will use the latest version of IP. IP12 is the latest version in my machine. So I will copy this and paste into my environment file. So as you can see, I've already used. Now write the block code to config.js. Okay. We have used the .NET environment here as set, and we have created one const port, host URL, user, password, SQL database. So which settings we have written in this environment variable. So we have already used in config.js. So it will export the all things. Now create one file with the name index.js in project. So I have already created the index.json. Now create route file inside the route folder with the name my route. You can choose the name as per your requirement or as per your wish. So let me create one file. So my route file will be helpful to routing the all URLs. So if your API endpoint URLs, so you can write as per your need into my route file. So we will take the example later. So in this file we have create the we are using the express version and we are using the controller. So user control I will create it later. So these are the methods which I will use. So I have copied this from my existing code. So we are not using the other ones. So I'm writing the get all users. So this will be the your API URL. So in the environment file index.js, sorry, environment file. So once you will hit this URL with your um, endpoint URL, so your API will be hit. So there is one more point I will discuss this later. So in the index.js, I will use this code. index.js. So I was talking about the API URL. So your URL of API will be look like this, and this, and plus, and where is my route file, and this. So this will be the URL for that method, get all user. Get all user, I will create that method in my index and controller file. So this will be the your URL. So step number 16, create a file utils.js inside the data folder to read files like SQL file, which will be used for DB query. So let me create the utils file. Utils basically like utility. Code. So I was talking about that we have to read the some files of SQL. So I will create the SQL file in my data folder. So like abc.sql. So in the abc.sql I will write like select statement, delete, update, or insert, etc. So basically this code will help to read the SQL file. So you can see this is a like a static code, nothing as a logical code. Now create one folder under data folder for your all SQL file and operation like users. So I will create one folder users. So I will create the all SQL file under the user. So I'm using the like user database. So that's why I have keep this name as users. You can choose as per your requirement. Now create all SQL file under the user folder and write SQL query in the file like select, update, delete, etc. Example get all user.sql. So let me create one SQL file. So as you can see that the symbol is for database. So let me write some SQL statement. Select star from TBL user. Okay. So what is the next step? Create one more file with the name index.js under the user folder. Okay. Index.js. Okay. We will write all DB operation here in index.js file. Okay. So basically we are using the utility file and config file and MS SQL Server package. So we are requiring these three things. And I've created one method get user. So basically we are connecting with the SQL Server and like we are loading the all scripts which are under user folder. So pool.request, basically we are using the user list. So it will help to read the data. So let me reformat. So pool.request.query. So query, what will be the query? SQL queries dot get all user. So this get all user dot SQL file name inside the data user folder. So I've created this file. So this is the file name of your SQL statements. So it will return the user list dot record set. So next step. Now create one controller file. Okay, inside the controller folder. .js and write the block code. So I'm performing the controller model views, you can say. So this is our controller file. So I'm requiring the data and data slash user folder. So uh, in user folder, it will require the index.js or any JS file. So it will connect with that. So I've created one method with the same name, or you can choose the name as per your requirement. So I'm saying that user data dot get all user get user, sorry. So if I will create go to definition, So it will take me to index.js, you can see. Okay, so it will response.send user list. So which data will come, it will send to the response, and if any exception will be there, so it will give the 400 error and the error message. And I will export the get all user method. Suppose if I have one another method, let me copy this, and suppose delete all user. So I have to write in this way. Okay, okay. So I think we have covered the whole steps. So let's move to new terminal and let's start. Oh, sorry. I have to run the npm start. So as you can see that it has started the index.js, starting not index.js. Clean exit waiting for changes before restart means your file is waiting for next save changes. So let me go to environment file, and I think I have already written the method name, and go to. So I think we are missing something. Saying API user get only. Let me check the URL again. Index.js controller. Sorry. Get all user. Okay. So I think in index.js I have to write dot listen conflict port. Okay. So this is optional. You can comment this out. Terminal, new terminal, start. Okay, now go to this and copy. Okay, great. You can see that our select all method is working. So let me insert one more row. Hello, what the hello.com. Okay, one row affected. Let me refresh the page. You can see ID for name hello, email hello@hello.com. Okay, great. So in the similar way, I will create the all uh, method like delete, update, insert. So I've already created one application with the same CRUD operation. So let me open that application. So as you can see that I've already read the create query, delete, get get user by ID, update query, and if we will jump to index.js, so I've already read the all methods over there. So if you don't want to create these files inside the user folder, and if you want to use the stored procedure, so this is the way you can write the stored procedure in this way. So these are your SQL parameters, like what are the stored procedure parameters you can write in this way. So let me take to the create user example. So in the create user, let me open the create user file. So insert into TBL user name, email, values, and these are the parameters. And it will return the scope identity we last inserted row. Okay. So index.js. So these are the way of sending the parameters into this SQL query. So this is the parameter. So this will be your request parameter. So let me take to user controller on the create user method. So these are the way request, response, and next. So in the request, I have already write the request dot body. So and I pass this data constant into create user method. Okay. So I will share this code. Okay. Thank you.